When James lost his wife at 69, everyone around him offered the same advice. You're still young enough to find someone new. It sounded comforting, logical even. No one wants to picture their golden years in solitude, so after 2 years, James started dating again. He met someone kind, gentle, and easy to talk to. They shared meals, laughter, and long walks. But as time went on, something unexpected happened. The quiet joy James had found in his solitude began to slip away. His routines changed, his sleep suffered, small disagreements turned into bigger ones, and for the first time in years, he found himself feeling not companionship but tension. When he finally stepped back and chose to be alone again, he said something that stayed with me. I didn't feel alone when I was by myself. I felt alone when I had to lose myself to keep someone else happy. We live in a world that praises love stories and lifelong partnerships, and for many, those connections bring deep meaning. But the truth that doesn't get talked about enough is this. For some people over 65, choosing to stay single is not a sad outcome, it's a wise decision. It's not about giving up on love. It's about choosing peace, choosing rest, choosing yourself. Being single later in life doesn't mean being lonely. It can mean freedom, stability, waking up each day with no one to compromise for and no tension pulling at your chest. For many seniors, it is the very thing that allows them to thrive. Today, we'll explore 3 powerful reasons why staying single after 65 might not just be better, it might be the best decision you make for your health, your happiness, and your heart. And stay with me through reason number 3, it's the one no one talks about, but it affects more people than you might imagine. Let's begin. Reason 1. Emotional stress from conflict. No matter how compatible two people seem, relationships, especially new ones, come with conflict. Misunderstandings, clashing habits, differences in how you see the world. When we're younger, these struggles feel like a normal part of learning and growing. But after 65, the equation changes. Your energy isn't the same, your tolerance for drama wears thin, and what once felt like a minor disagreement can now echo through your mind and body for days. What many older adults come to realize is that emotional stress affects them more deeply now than ever before. Your nervous system slows down with age, recovery from stress takes longer, sleep becomes more fragile, and the emotional toll of repeated arguments, even small ones, can lead to fatigue, anxiety, and even depression. Take Edith, for example. She was 73 when she entered a new relationship after a decade of living alone. At first, it was exciting. She loved having someone to talk to over dinner, someone to walk with in the evenings. But soon, disagreements started popping up. He criticized the way she managed her time. She found his constant phone calls overwhelming. What began as affection turned into control, and the stress of defending her boundaries brought back old wounds she thought she had healed. After 6 months, Edith ended the relationship and described the relief as like getting a full night's sleep after years of tossing and turning. This kind of emotional weight is not rare. Many seniors carry past traumas from previous marriages, lost partners, or family conflicts. A new relationship can unexpectedly trigger those old wounds. And while companionship might sound comforting, it should never come at the cost of your inner peace. Staying single means fewer emotional landmines, fewer emotional roller coasters. It means choosing calm over chaos, peace over pressure, and for many, that trade is not only worth it, it's life-saving. Reason 2. Financial complications. Love may be blind, but money always sees clearly, and it rarely looks the other way. In our later years, finances become more than numbers on a page. They represent stability, medical security, legacy for children, and peace of mind. Introducing a partner into the picture often means blending financial lives, and that can quickly turn a peaceful retirement into a stressful balancing act. At age 30 or 40, financial challenges in a relationship might be manageable. You've got time to earn, recover, and rebuild. But after 65, the stakes are different. Your income is likely fixed, your assets have been carefully preserved, and the margin for error is much smaller. A new partner may bring financial baggage. Credit card debt, different spending habits, or expectations around shared expenses. Even something as seemingly simple as buying groceries together can trigger tension if you're not on the same page. Roger, 68, found this out the hard way. After losing his wife, he reconnected with an old friend from high school. Their bond grew quickly, and within a few months she had moved in. Roger was generous, paying for dinners, small vacations, and new household items. But over time, he noticed that his savings were shrinking faster than expected. His partner had expensive taste and assumed they'd split costs 50-50, except her contributions never quite materialized. When Roger finally confronted her, she was offended. The tension rose, and what began as comfort turned into quiet resentment. It's not just about spending either. Financial entanglements can affect everything from tax brackets to social security benefits. Some seniors risk losing pensions or health care coverage if they legally remarry. Others find themselves in difficult conversations about inheritance, especially when adult children are involved. The lines blur quickly, and what was meant to bring joy ends up inviting confusion. Choosing to stay single gives you full control over your financial world. You can spend, save, or give as you choose. You don't have to negotiate every purchase or defend every decision. You worked hard for your independence, and keeping your finances separate might be the very thing that protects your peace. Reason 3. Loss of routine and personal space. Over the years, we shape our lives around what works for us: the cup of tea in the morning, the news station we trust, the time of day we like to nap or take a walk. These routines, while small, create a rhythm that grounds us. They give us a sense of control, comfort, and identity, especially as our world changes with age. But when a new partner enters the picture, those routines are often the first things to shift. Louise, 70, had been living alone for over a decade. Her days were slow and intentional. She liked waking up early, sitting in her garden with a journal, then spending afternoons reading or knitting. When she began seeing someone new, she was hopeful. They spent weekends together, then gradually merged their homes. That's when the tension started. He liked to sleep in, play the TV loudly in the morning, and rearranged her kitchen without asking. Suddenly, the peace she had spent years building felt invaded. "I didn't realize how much my little habits mattered," she said, "until they were no longer mine." This kind of disruption isn't always dramatic, it's subtle, but it's felt deeply. You find yourself sharing your space again: your refrigerator, your remote control, your calendar. You negotiate everything from what to eat for dinner to where to keep the laundry basket. And while compromise is part of any relationship, for many seniors it begins to feel like a loss of freedom. Personal space isn't just about square footage, it's about autonomy. The ability to move through your day without adjusting to someone else's preferences, to spend your time exactly as you please without apology or explanation. When you choose to stay single, you preserve that space. You wake when you want, you eat when you want, you don't have to schedule your life around another person's needs or moods. And for many older adults, that kind of quiet freedom brings more joy than constant companionship ever could. Final thoughts. There's a quiet power in solitude, not the kind that isolates, but the kind that frees. As we age, we begin to see things more clearly. We understand that time is finite, energy is precious, and the quality of our days depends less on how full our calendars are and more on how full our hearts feel when we're alone. Staying single after 65 isn't a tragedy. It's not a last resort. It's not an admission of failure. For many, it's the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with intention, calm, and self-respect. It means waking up without tension, moving through your day without compromise, and falling asleep knowing your peace is protected. We've talked about 3 reasons today: the emotional toll of conflict, the messiness of finances, and the loss of routine. Each one is real. Each one deserves consideration. And if even one of them spoke to you, you're not alone. You're not broken if you choose solitude. You're wise. You're strong. You're choosing clarity over chaos, peace over performance, and that decision deserves to be honored. So take a deep breath tonight. Ask yourself not what others expect, but what your soul truly needs. And if the answer is stillness, simplicity, and sovereignty, embrace it fully.